Hi, my name is Ian and this is Celia, and we're the co-founders of Beach Break Live, a new music festival aimed at UK university students. We're here today to offer you the opportunity of buying 10% of the business for £50,000.
Beach Break Live is a lot more than just a music festival. It's a 3-day, 3-night event which takes place on a unique and beautiful stretch of land overlooking one of the UK's premier surf beaches. It's the perfect way for students to celebrate the end of their exams and to roll out the summer.
Students have got a month at the end of their academic year when they finish their exams but before they break up. As such, a spring break market, like we see in the States, has emerged in the UK and it's growing very quickly.
We're the only festival in England that we know of that is 10 minutes walk from a surf beach, where we've got camping on site and it's licensed for 3 days and 3 nights. We also pride ourselves in being both environmentally and socially responsible, particularly when it comes to the local area.
Over the next 5 years, we're going to grow the festival conservatively from 2,000 to 15,000 people. We're going to turn over £6.7 million cumulatively and generate cumulative net profits of £3.7 million. Any questions?
It's a confident pitch by the young entrepreneurs for the £50,000 investment they want in their Spring Break Music Festival. But they're only offering a 10% stake in return, and James Caan wants to drill down on their financial projections.
Hi Celia, hi Ian, I'm James.
Hi there.
Can you just run those numbers by me again?
This year, festival just gone, we turned over £120,000.
Yeah.
You
made how much profit?
We didn't make any profit this year.
Okay, so did you lose money, break even?
This year effectively cost the business £30,000.
And your forecast for next year was?
Forecast for next year, in terms of ticket sales, is 3,000. In terms of turnover, is £424,000, giving us net profit of £160,000.
And how much is the ticket?
The ticket last year was £65.
For the 3 days?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had 2,000 people attending at £65?
There was some of the tickets which we gave to kind of people who were creating the space, so whether they were student acts who wanted to come down and perform.
What percentage of the 2,000 paid a ticket?
It was 50%.
Okay.
Of the tickets that were given away, around 300 were effectively staff who are paid, or they get a free ticket for working at the festival.
What I would say is I wouldn't mislead me by telling me you had 2,000 people attending and only half paid.
Absolutely.
I think you're better off saying I had 1,000 people come and they paid.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it sounds like you're doing better than you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my only concern, therefore, is that if you then say next year I'm going to get 3,000, naturally, I probably don't believe in your numbers.
Right. That wasn't our aim, to mislead you.
Celia and Ian have alienated James Caan, albeit inadvertently. But Duncan Bannatyne isn't happy either.
You can't continue to give people free tickets instead of paying them. The law in this country states there's a minimum wage, and you have to pay people the minimum wage.
Just in terms of the staffing of the event, every festival in the UK pretty much uses volunteers, and that is how they are specified, and I imagine that probably is for non-revenue reasons. They use volunteers to staff their festival.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can I just say, you are totally right. I was going to come in there and tell you exactly, because that is fact.
Thank you.
They're classified as volunteers, and you do not have to legally pay them minimum wage.
This doesn't work because there's not enough meat in it. There's not enough money to pay everybody.
Oh, I
There's
see.
a lot of labour that didn't get paid.
Are you saying as in our
When these costs are taken in to consideration for last year, you made a loss much higher than 30,000 last year. If you paid the people who got free tickets, it will make a loss again this year. I hope people invest in you and it'll be proven right. Okay, but I'm out.
A furious Duncan Bannatyne has walked away from any deal. It's an early setback for the pair, and they desperately need to get their pitch back on track.
Guys, what's your background, both of you?
4 years ago, when I was at university, I started running student events, these weekends or 3-day events to different places in Europe, and that grew to 5 universities in the Midlands and a number of reps selling the tickets. And since then, I've spent a year and a half working as a consultant in a revenue growth consultancy in London. I left that 2 months before kind of the festival to focus on the festival.
Celia?
I started a festival in Birmingham with my flatmate called the Vale Festival, which was a charity festival in aid of Sudan. That pulled 2,500 people in its first year. It's now at 6,000 people. And then following that, I joined a company which basically ran 10 events for 10,000 students a go. So I've got a lot of experience in putting on large-scale events for students.
Good answer.
Thank you.
The duo are putting up an impressive fight, helped by cool heads and impressive CVs. Now, Deborah Meaden, who made her millions in the West Country's leisure and entertainment industries, is ready to have her say.
You've made a good presentation. I also think you've hit on quite an opportunity, and I'm going to make you an offer. And that's for two reasons. You're very good. You've got a good idea here. I think the other side of why I'm interested is I think I would be able to add. It's my region. I'm involved in entertainment. I'm involved in taking people down to the area. So I think that, you know, the fit there could be very good. So I'm very impressed with the whole package. I'm going to offer you all of the money, and I want 40% of the business.
Okay.
Let me tell you where I am, see if that helps you.
Yeah.
Deborah's made you an offer of 40%, which is uncanny, because 40% was a figure I had in mind as well. I'm not of the mind to undercut her, because that's the figure that I had in mind.
Yeah.
So you've got an identical offer to Deborah's from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Two rival offers, but both dragons are demanding 4 times the equity stake Celia and Ian had wanted to part with. But 2 other dragons are still in, and Peter Jones is ready to show his hand.
I'm concerned about the fact this could be just one event, and you only need 1 or 2 things to occur, as we know. Somebody dying of a drugs overdose or something happening at your event, it's cancelled, and it won't happen again. And then the reputation of also your company, you won't get a further licence.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about that. But actually, I'm really interested in it.
Really?
Thank you.
So, my offer to you is I will give you £50,000 for 30% of the company. And at the end of the event, when we make the profit and that amount is repaid, I'll drop my stake down to 20%.
Okay.
It's confusing and interesting at the same time.
A bidding war has erupted in the Den. A determined Peter Jones is trying to clinch the investment by demanding less equity and offering the chance for them to buy back 10%. Will James Caan, though, now enter the fray?
I think what I'd like to propose is happy to do the 50,000. I'm not going to get into this loan and take the money back and put the money in. Put the money in,
It's
straight
an option,
equity.
James.
Straight equity, Peter. You've had your chance. Please let me finish now, yeah? So I think what I'll do is I'll come in at 25%, make it straightforward, nice and clean. It is what it is, with the full amount of money you're looking for.
The tension is rising in the Den as 4 dragons pit themselves against each other. Will Theo Paphitis or Deborah Meaden decide to improve on their original offers?
I'm going to do something that's quite unusual because actually in my offer, it doesn't leave you with the combined majority shareholding.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's quite important. And I've got a question for a fellow dragon. My question is going to be that I would be prepared to say that I would take 35% if the dragon sat to my right would be interested in doing this at the same level.
Deborah couldn't actually shoot me down in flames at the moment because I might be talking out of turn. But I'd be quite happy to work to 30%, not 35%. Purely because I think with Deborah's input, as far as this industry is concerned, and all our other contacts, we can certainly grow the business a lot faster. Do you guys want to just take 2 minutes out and give some thought?
Is that okay? Thanks.
It's one of the most complicated negotiations the Den has seen. Deborah Meaden and Theo Paphitis are now jointly offering £50,000 for a 30% stake, underpinned by Deborah Meaden's local expertise. Peter Jones is also at 30%, but with the carrot of a 10% equity reduction after he's offset his original risk. And there's a 25% no-strings-attached offer from James Kahn. Now, in a bid to gain the upper hand, Celia and Ian decide to make a counter-offer of their own.
We've said that we'd be prepared to sell 20% of the business, and we'd ideally have 2 of you involved, and that would be Deborah and Peter, with the option to buy a further 10%.
The issue for me is the bit that I will certainly bring, amongst many other things I would like to think, was my contacts within the leisure tourism area in this region. We know that can be quite hard work at times, and that means that I would have to commit quite a bit of time to this. And for me, 20% isn't going to work.
I mean, what you've come back with is very clever, it's brilliant, and I think you're also leveraging on the element of competition amongst the dragons, which is what it's all about. So I would be happy to compromise with you and say 50,000 for 25%.
With the option for us to buy you out still.
Yeah, and I'm happy for that to have a flexible option. That not written in stone, but it's there for you if you need it.
With Deborah Meaden refusing to manoeuvre, Peter Jones is playing hard to win the deal. It's decision time for the duo.
We know that working with any of you guys would be hugely beneficial to the business, but we've reached a decision.
Based on the principles that we came in here with, we'd be very happy to take.
Yes.
Peters.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Ian and Celia have done it, cleverly negotiating their way through a fierce bidding war to walk away with the £50,000 investment they came for. And Peter Jones as their new business partner.